Good afternoon, everyone. Almost good evening, and welcome to the game number 28 of the Aleš Hřebeský Memorial 2026. Here you are watching Alberta lacrosse take on the AlpSolute Legends in playing game number 8 here live from LCC Radotín. Here with Jane Lee Whitehead bringing you this game. One of the last playing games we have of today. Alberta coming out of the Gold D group with 2 losses. The latest one, just a close one, 7-5 loss against the German Shepherds. And AlpSolute Legends beating the Grizzlies this morning to come second place in the Silver B group. Coming into this play-in with 1 win and 1 loss. AlpSolute Legends with the first possession. You might be more familiar with Chocolax for this AlpSolute Legends team. Had a little bit of a rebrand coming into this year. And Alberta, I'm sure there will be one to go into tomorrow. Back in their winning spirits as usual. Now, Greg Beret handing it off to Wildeburg. Still a possession. Working the right, Wildeburg still a possession with a shot and a save from the netminder of AlpSolute Legends. I believe that's Bereswheel in net, but if that is different, we'll let you know as soon as possible. And there's another shot from Alberta, from Zdrill. And they will get a fresh clock. Greg Beret with possession, takes a shot over the shoulder. But Bereswheel coming up with that shot. Koenig handed that ball off to Brunner. Playing really wide. This Belgian team. You can call them the Belgian team, right? And here we go for the first shot. And that's blocked by the defender. Not sure. Yep, that ball is still loose on the ground. Quite scrappy for that. And Gonzalez Banos wanted something whilst his wand was still laying on the floor, but nothing there as Fraser takes it away for Alberta. Jordan Wheaton on the left, super strong. Greg Beret with the back, but looking for a feed from X. And now loose, and that will be over and back for Alberta. Barrett Fraser chases that ball down. Garrett Gershon also on the floor for Alberta. Alberta substituting really well so far, of course, still short bench. First half for this game with almost 3 minutes in. Shorter games for these if you're not familiar, so just 2 quarters or 2 halves of 15 minutes for these playing games. A little mishandle by the AlpSolute Legends. Bring it back into Alberta's stick. Ethan Peterson looking for some options. Getting off to Kerr. Kerr still muscling way through. Ball still in his stick, but just lets go. And AlpSolute Legends coming up with that. But great forecheck and good pressure from Alberta, getting it back into the jerseys in purple. Wildeburg still carrying Clemens. Opts to swing it over using Drill. And Blake now with him on the left side. Takes a shot. I think that deflected potentially off a white jersey, I thought, but nope, apparently no deflection. I think, so I thought I saw it. I think Blake also potentially might have been trying to say to the rest that there was a deflection. But nevertheless, it will go back to the AlpSolute Legends. Koenig muscling his way through. There's a shot, goes over the keeper. Definitely no contact there from John McMillan in cage for Alberta lacrosse. Beret carrying, shot over the top, blocked by defender in a white jersey. Legends pushing tempo slightly. They did have numbers for a very short while, but they will slow this down. Score 0-0. There's a backdoor cut. Option open at the back, but McMillan keeping them in as Alberta managed to get the ball over the halfway line. McBride taking his shot now. against Beresville, and Beresville with another stop. Dylan Kerr pressuring Koenig all the way down, and Koenig looking for some options whilst they get some white jerseys back on the floor. And they will settle this one down. Under 20 to go in this shot clock. Sparks on the left side takes a shot, and that will come off the shoulder of McMillan. And the Legends scrapping for this ball. And they do come up with a Koenig again, tries to go over the crease, over the shoulder of McMillan. But that will be a crease call, and Scrimshaw slowing this down for Alberta. And Wheaton starts this off for us. To his drill. With a shot, and just going under the glove of Beresville. A rip from the top. They've had a couple of opportunities now, and that does get past Beresville for the first goal of the game. Great individual effort. Of course, Wheaton also there helping him out. But Kirby's the drill with that shot and a goal. Legal procedure by Alberta, giving the ball straight into the white jerseys again, and refs asking them to pick it up. Gonzalez Banos up the top, but the lefties will work it down for now. Harry thing in with that was Harry trying to work with Scher, but we'll go back to Alberta. Pedersen up to drill, the last goal scorer, to Beret. Wildebauer on that side working. He does have Peterson still on the other side. Goshen also in the mix for this offense of Alberta. Just 5 seconds left. Pedersen doing a great job to slow that down for Alberta to get his teammates on. Gonzalez Banos taking a rip. East for McMillan, had loads of time and space to see that one. And that goes all the way to Blake. If they do manage to keep it on their side. Still loose ball there, and Blake hunting that down, managed to get it back in his stick. Is he going to go for another shot attempt? No, he's going to swing it up to the top, up to Barrett Frazier. Now with Dylan Kerr. Dylan Kerr moving it to X. Wheaton with the ball on the left side. He's going to try and get that over the defense shoulder. Doesn't quite manage. And Ron under all sorts of pressure. And the Legends again finding it a little bit difficult to get it out of the corner, and Wheaton will take possession again for Alberta with a fresh new shot clock. Kerr going underneath. Can he get through? He does. There's a big check from Koenig as well whilst he was up in the air. It looked like he had a little bit of a floating moment. Really well timed. Twinkle toes over the right side of the crease, going right underneath, protecting his stick well and getting it just on that far side. Really well placed. So that will be 2 on the board for Alberta in this game against AlpSolute Legends. Koenig carrying, he will take a rip. Shot from the top, John McMillan. Another save for him. Saw that coming from a mile away. And Garrett Goshen will be taking the ball up. Again for Alberta. Alberta looking quite settled now, I think. Working that left side in Alberta. Goshen up to Wildebauer. Wildebauer with a shot wide, and Wheaton with a great pickup there. Almost managed to get Beresville whilst he was still on the ground, but Koenig, that isn't Koenig. Koenig was also there, as that's Valan trying to get possession over onto the offense for the Legends, but that will come straight back. to Peterson, now controlling. Down to Bure. Bure over to Wheaton. Wheaton finding his man on the roll. Wheaton again. Really physical on the inside, but there's a shot from the right side. That's from Barrett Fraser. That is a save, and we are going to have a crease violation. And let's see if we can get the Legends having a little bit more of a settled play now, have a longer possession. Alberta feeling like they've had quite a lot of the ball in the last couple of minutes, I'd say. But Gonzalez Banos now working with Welker Simon. I'm not sure if that was tipped or it just came out a little funny, shall we say. And right back to Alberta. 2 up. Greg Bure. Had Wildeboer in the middle. 2 successive shots. The Beresville both taking them on his chest with a lovely long clear to Legends, and they've got numbers on the back door, and there's a shot and a save again by McMillan and picked up by Kerr, going straight back down the other way. I think he was looking for Wheaton at the other end, but he also had Koenig. Koenig, I feel like, has been all over the floor all day. And the Legends, a short-ish bench. I mean, they're pretty short, but at the same time, Alberta only have 2 more than them. So both running fairly short, but still very physical. Legends with another shot and a great save from McMillan. Physical play from Peterson, but that's really well held from Legends number 42, Clemens. Sure, to Welker Simon. Gonzalez Banos again on the attack. And he will just rip it. Thought he might go underneath for a second, but just trying to shoot around his defender, but it will go back into the stick of McMillan. And another easy clear up the field. Sorry, floor. Schabanuk off to Wheaton. Wheaton coming down the middle, finding a man on pick and roll. And that's a lovely play from Wheaton down to Kerr, I think that was. Yeah, lovely again. Getting underneath, getting right to in front of the goal. Protecting stick well, and a great finish. And that makes it 3-0 for Alberta. And straight off the face, going all the way down by Fraser, but into Beresville. And Beresville will make that save for the AlpSolute Legends. Just under 2 minutes left in this half. Let's see if the AlpSolute Legends can get anything, but unfortunately that will go straight to Alberta Lacrosse. I was wondering why they were saying blue. I kind of see them more as purple, but they did mean Alberta. Alberta again. Trying to find someone at X. Not connecting, and let's see now if Legends can get something going. Have had a couple of shots. McMillan in net for Alberta, doing a great job minding that net, and of course clearing the ball, I think successfully most of the time. Peterson off to Darren Bure. Hidden ball potentially. I did think Beresville knew where that was, and that will go over and back. Oh no, sorry, they are right. I think they did come off the defender. Did come off, no, not even a defender. Welker Simon, he was on the defensive side of the floor for a bit. Yep, so no shot clock reset, but that probably should have been not an over and back. And Gonzalez Banos all the way going in, all the way into McMillan, but McMillan's chest saving that shot by Gonzalez Banos. And Alberta will push Skimshaw with that attempt. And that will go back into the sticks of Alberta as Drill trying to get another shot off, but that will be half-time. Score 3-0 in favor of Alberta lacrosse. Alberta coming into this game with two tough losses. I've been talking about this with quite a few people, but the standard of this tournament, already quite high, is just getting higher and higher, and these gold group games are just becoming tougher and tougher. Teams that you may have not expected it to be that close with some of, you know, the leaders, previous winners of this tournament, you know, are getting these upset wins. Maybe I shouldn't call them upset wins, but nevertheless, we're seeing a lot of kind of different results this year, which is making for an incredibly exciting tournament. So just over 1 minute left to go for this second half of this game between Alberta lacrosse and AlpSolute Legends. I'll be back with you in a short tick. Welcome back to the second half of this game between Alberta lacrosse and AlpSolute Legends, game number 28 of the Aleš Hřebeský Memorial 2026. This is Jane Lee Whitehead bringing you the play-in game number 8 on the second day, live from LCC Radotín. It's a beautiful sunny evening here, very warm. And the first phase controlled by the AlpSolute Legends. Didn't have too much possession coming towards the end of that last half. And that shot just going wide, and McMillan able to just stop that before it does any rolling. Looking for Wheaton all the way at the top. Pass doesn't connect, but Wheaton's still able to control possession of that. And AlpSolute Legends have managed to get all of their men on in time. And Dylan Kerr looking for Zach Wildebauer backside, but doesn't quite connect. So that will go back to the AlpSolute Legends. As we said, let's see if they can get a couple of settled play in here. Again, quite enough shots, I would think. Again, McMillan doing his job as a netminder of Alberta lacrosse, denying the Belgian shots going in. Of course, AlpSolute Legends. Previously, you may know them as Chocolax, with a bit of a rebrand for this year. And now Alberta's controlling this back. McBride bringing it up. Gauchon as well. Still carrying that, so the ball still with Gauchon on the right side. Greg Beret coming over to help him. You see Wheaton on the back door on the lefty crease, but no, Greg Beret will take it himself for a goal. Sharp shooter Greg Beret with his first of the game. I believe that was from Garrett Gauchon. Off of that roll. See if I can catch a replay here. Yep. Just nice pick and roll, and 5-0 he goes. Fakes high and goes between the legs of Beresville for the fourth goal for Alberta lacrosse. And here's Fraser coming all the way off them with face-off. Straight to the goal, coming off, I think, at the post, not the leg pad. But AlpSolute Legends do a great job to get that ground ball, and I think that might have been a... No, not a push in the back. Was kind of what I was expecting, but it doesn't matter. I'm not really sure what's going on there at the back, but the ball will remain with Alberta. Just 2 minutes into this second half. And that one coming off the post. Alberta will want to go into the next playing game strong after a tough group game originally, and now trying to fight for the best of that middle bracket of the tournament. But Zach Wildebroer, before I can finish that, another shot and a great goal. Again, looking really settled into their rhythm. Just managed to separate himself from the defender a little bit, and that's all he needs to get his hands free and find the back of the net. Fraser on the other side, on another face, but Koenig coming up with that ball, losing it, but still fighting for it on the ground. And where is that ball? Gauchon with a great grab ball pick up, one hand, and he'll take it himself with a goal for him too in this game. Alberta finding that score sheet now, building up. Again, another quick goal. Fraser's had the previous one coming straight off the face, leading into a shot. Wasn't a goal that time, but Garrett Gauchon making sure his name is on that sheet, coming off that face, working half that ground ball as well. But Greg Beret will be in face this time for Alberta, and he comes up with possession. Ball loose though, and under all sorts of pressure by the men in the white jerseys. Absolute legends doing a great job to get themselves stuck in the middle there. And Pedersen coming over there, trying to find Wheaton on the backside. And they will get a fresh clock here. Alberta having plenty of time, and they do. But another backdoor card. Oh, and that's a great goal. I'm not sure how he managed to keep a hold of that ball. I thought he might have had his stick a little stuck on the defender, so let's see. Yeah, under loads of pressure, but not bothered at all was Kirby's drill. Coming through that side, and yes, absolute legends after that goal run that Alberta Lacrosse has put on them will call a timeout. So a series of couple of very quick goals here for Alberta. And looking quite convincing now here, score 7-0. So this is game 28. The loser of this game will play the pink bubble team. And if you've not heard of the Pink Bubble team yet, they are named after a charity local here in Czechia that supports children suffering from cancer. Really, really good foundation. And their tournament fees actually being donated to that foundation as well. So if you do have any time to check them out, they're on www.pinkbubble.cz. The team itself is made up of a lot of Czech players that come from teams that didn't qualify. So another opportunity for them to be able to play in this tournament. But whilst I was talking about that, that's another shot and score from Dylan Kerr. Quick, off the bench, using this long bench well on the substitution. And just great heads-up play from Alberta, making it look easy. Now back to some tournament information. So currently looking like it will be Alberta, so the winner of this game 28 will play the loser between Purple Rain and Zbrabslav, which is coming to you at 9:10 local time PM. McMillan with another save, finding a man coming off the bench. But just a missed pass, and absolute legends. Let's see if they can get something going on their offensive end here. Just as I said, under all sorts of pressure by Gauchon and Wildeboer. And Wildeboer, will he take it? And he will, coming off the leg pads of Bereswil. Thought he was considering not taking that. He did have 3 white jerseys in front of him, but decided to take it anyway, and Bereswil getting a good piece of that. And also managing to pluck that ball out of the air on just a mishandle or a miss-pass from Alberta. But the clear, I thought potentially was going a little bit haywire, but white jerseys managing to keep that, and Kunik all over him was the pressures of the bluey purple jerseys, I will call it. And here comes Alberta again, looking really strong the second half. Might have had a bit of a slow start to the game, but now definitely proving themselves to be a gold standard team. Wildeboer trying to find Fraser there, and the ball was loose, and the shot clock will run out for Alberta. White jerseys just waiting to get on. A bit of a slow substitution, but they do have a short bench. 14 runners, it looks like, on their team. Alberta only 16 as well, though. Gonzalez Banos used X to rotate that through, going back to his side. And now Harry finds Cher for a shot. But Alberta will come up with it in that far corner. No pressure from any white jerseys there, and they will clear the ball up. Darren Beret now with the ball, with a sea of white jerseys in front of him, and he will opt to slow this one down. Beret after his drill. It's a drill with a shot, going wide. Can Gauchon keep that in? It doesn't matter. Oh, I thought Beret might have just had that one and managed to keep that in, but that won't be the case. And the ball will go back to AlpSolute Legends. So a couple of wide shots coming from Alberta in the last couple of minutes. Giving it back, but I think they're probably looking a little comfortable now, the score being 8-0 in favor of Alberta. AlpSolute Legends, I'm sure they'll want to get something on the ball, but there is a loose one. Halldorsen chasing that one down. He's trying to muscle in himself, and I think that probably is going to be a holding call. I don't know what else it could be on Halldorsen. I think maybe a little bit unlucky on that call. Couldn't quite see from my angle whether it was a hold or not. But Alberta, nevertheless, will be 6 on 5 for 5 more seconds. I'm not sure if that came off the keeper, but now that one does hit the keeper of Bereswil. And we will see a penalty being awarded to the AlpSolute Legends. 5 minutes to go in this game. Yeah, so that will be a holding call. A 1-minute penalty, of course, a reduced one, since we are also reducing the game time for this tournament at this stage. This is a drill. Down to Wildeboer. Beret back up to his drill. Finding a man at X. Doesn't quite connect, but they've still got plenty of time. Looking for that dunk. And is that in? Nope. Bereswil managed to step across in time to get the off. And what a great pass, looking for the backside, but doesn't manage to get the shot off. Welker Simon didn't quite know. I'm not sure if that was a check on Welker Simon by one of the bluey purple jerseys. But that was a great look. Up floor, real heads-up play there, managed to find the stick of Welker Simon, and I'm sure they want that one back. And here's still a power play going for Alberta. Wheaton not able to get that one off the stick of Wildeboer, and they've still got 7 seconds to shoot. Beret, see him at X. And that was a deflection. I think Wildeboer was trying to zip that one to Beret behind the cage. And they will get another fresh 30. Beret looking for Kerr on the lefty crease. And that will be a reset. That did come off Bereswil. And they've still got loads of time, but it doesn't matter. They're going to go across the crease for Zach Wildeboer. Charging through, and here comes Superman. Jumping across the crease. So I believe, unless I've been calling it wrong for the first half as well, and apologies if I have, I do believe that is now Mayer in goal for the Absolute Legends. So apologies if I've been calling him Ferris wheel. Absolute Legends trying to find some room underneath. That was Gonzalez Banos getting it up to his righty teammates and swinging it, but the stick of Sher not quite free, and through the crease he goes, giving the ball back to Alberta. Fraser carrying it up. He does have a man at the front. Doesn't quite connect with his drill. Slight slow motion on that pass. I'm not sure whether the sun was in his eyes, maybe, and now it's a clear air for number 13, Schmidl of the Absolute Legends. I also apologize because I think I've said Belgium instead of Swiss a couple of times, and it is a Swiss team, not a Belgian team. So as I apologize again, Alberta get another one up on the board. I think that's just a little dunk from X from the stick of Kirby's drill. Schmidl on the face for Absolute Legends, but Alberta will come up with it. Goshorn passing it back to Zayden Blake, but Blake's shot deflected off a stick of a man in a white jersey. And Absolute Legends, can they get it up to see if they can get something in the back of the net before time runs out? Harry bringing the ball down, looking for some help. And he gets one off the bench of Gonzalez Banos. Gonzalez Banos twisting and turning, trying to get a shot off, but a whistle there from the official. And there will be an illegal substitution, so too many on the white. I believe they managed to just see that. 10-goal difference here in this game, and unfortunately the Absolute Legends will go down short. Oh, and I'm not sure if Mayer expected that shot. Greg Bure decided to take it. Must have seen a little gap. Mayer now reset in his cage, though. Ball up to Wheaton on this power play for Alberta. Alberta trying to, Wilderberg trying to shoot over the screen and its defense, but there will be a crease violation, and the ball going back to the Swiss Legends. Ball coming up at the top. Can they gain control of it? But that does go out of bounds, and it will go straight back to Peterson's stick of Alberta Lacrosse. There's Wheaton coming off the backside, off the bench. She's straight at the chest of Mayer, though. And Dylan Kerr at the back to get that ball back, and there will be a fresh clock, of course. Still up are Alberta off that too many men call. But Absolute Legends, Mayer really keeping the Absolute Legends in here to try and get something off in the last remaining 30 seconds of this game. And there's Kunik again. Called his name so many times today. Real hustle play, getting it right to the middle. Wanted that one goal for the Absolute Legends, but goes straight into the stick of Alberta. And just 17 seconds left on both the shot and the game clock. And going back to the left, and they will decide to shoot this just with 8 seconds left. Coming far side, and just not enough white jerseys there to stop them. Stop Alberta coming off that bench for another close-up shot against Mayer, and that will be Alberta's 11th goal of the game. Less than 8 seconds to go of this playing game number 8 of the Aleš Hřebeský Memorial 2026. It has been dominant for Alberta in this game against the Swiss Absolute Legends. And Fraser, no, of course he wouldn't take it, and the game finishes there with a final score of 11-0. Alberta now going on to play the winners of a playing game that will come later. And the Absolute Legends, I believe, playing the Grizzlies going into tomorrow. So seeing a very competitive games, but again, these gold teams that are dropping down to third place and going into these play-ins, I'm sure they don't want to be here, and they're really fighting to stay as high as they can in that middle bracket going into next year. Of course, they do have that invite back for next year, but standards are just getting higher and higher, which is really, really lovely to see here. That was Jane Lee Whitehead coming from a very sunny LCC Radotín. I will be passing on to Stephen Stamp for the remainder of the day. Thank you for joining me.